What's good, boys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over a trade recap. On this trade recap, I made 750 on each account, as you guys can see here. This is my Express accounts. Sent this to the Discord. We also took this trade on live in the Discord. We do free lives every single day in the Discord. Link in bio. So yeah, make sure you guys join. We're teaching a lot of free things. We do everything for free in there. We teach our strategy, basically how we became profitable, and also do it all on live and post our trades every single day. So we try to stay very authentic. But that's really it with the Discord, boys. Let's go ahead and jump into the trade. All right, boys, welcome to the lab. Today, I'm going to run you through the whole entire process of taking this trade, exactly what I've seen, and my confluences. So going into the day, my bias, as you guys can see, we had Asia high resting. We didn't have a true London high, so I marked Asia here. True London high. I want to see a prominent London high. This is like pre-market sweep. Don't really like anything but this Asia high here and this London low as well, as you guys can see here. And going to the high time frame. Let's go to the high time frame. As you guys can see, this candle's a little bit messed up. Don't look at this. This is the London low, true London low. It was a PD array, as you guys can see, 4-hour fair value gap PD array, swing low, which is also a London low. So boom, that confirms my buys for the day. The only thing I'm going to take going in today is a London low sweep with the inverse to the upside. We're in a bullish market. We want to see a sweep of London low here inside of the 4-hour PD array, high A plus for our setup, inverse, and go to the upside. Also a SMT would be beautiful, right? So going into the day, let's see how we start. As you guys can see, this is 9:14. We're going to go ahead and get to 9:30. So boom, 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 we're playing out. Here comes 9:30. We got our initial push and sweep. Slow this down a little bit for you guys. As you guys see, we get a sweep. And at this current time, as you guys see, I can't replay ES. So just know that this is London low. And whenever I'm over here, as you guys can see, it shows the line of price that ES was at the exact same current time. So as you can see, as we sweep out London here, we're very, very high up in the range on ES. So there's the SMT. So let's put this would be our first original SMT. So based off this, there was no gaps, no true entry. So sat this one out, thought this one was going to bust the upside, run right to the liquidity. Cool. Stepping away. Now, as I'm stepping away, I think to myself, okay, well, what else could we see to potentially get calls? We have a SMT. We're probably going to rebalance up higher. But if we could get a sweep of this low here and a sweep on ES as well, or maintain our SMT, I would still be willing to take a bullish trade to the upside if we get our setup, which is a very, very strict setup. Now, as you guys can see, you can be like, well, one tick off, why wouldn't you take this inverse here? This is a sweep of London low SMT inverse. This is way too far up the range, guys. A lot of these IFVG traders would be like, yes, this is the model, take this, right? But I want to be at a protected low. This is a 52-point stop out. On prop firms, mini trading, you cannot risk 52 points. Even with my buffer, you can't do it. So we can't take this trade. It's not our correct leverage. It's a setup, but it's not clean. It doesn't have clear volume. So stayed away from that. All right. Now this is our new liquidity target, as you guys can see. Boom. We sweep this liquidity, and we also just put in a gap. So what we want to see from this bearish gap here, we want to see this bearish gap get inversed to the upside after liquidity sweep. And as you guys can see here, at the exact same time, ES put in a bearish gap. At the exact same time as well, ES did not sweep out London low. What does that mean? We currently have a SMT. All right, we come over to NQ. We get our next candle. All right, NQ, play out. All right, we get our next candle, as you guys can see. Okay, we're one tick off of inversing the gap, creating our IVG, our confluence for price to continue higher. But what do we notice? Here on ES, we have it inverse. SMT, inverse, ES, bullish close. Really, really liked it. Now, one thing I will take away from this trade, I normally would not enter unless NASDAQ inverse. This trade was a little bit different. you know, I ended up taking this entry off of the next candle right basically above the fair value gap and had a stop all basically at this candle closure, or you could do wick, either or, pretty much similar stops, like a 10-point difference. But light risk thrown on, news coming out as well in 3 minutes. So we had our entry. Now, our target should be the draw 100% of the time, and this is what I can take away from this trade. My target was not the draw. We had news coming out in 3 minutes, in basically 3 minutes. So I moved TP to this recent high, as you guys can see, for a 2-to-1, and we get our confirmed inverse based off this candle here. This could also be an entry. Price continuously stay bullish. This was our news candle right here, as you guys can see. We end up sweeping, pushing right past, and off of this closure, I ended up popping out of this trade right here, right after we swept that news candle, because sweeping news candles and data wick 80-70% of the time leads to a reversal. Didn't want that a part of my trade here. Took my 750 in profit. One thing I actually didn't notice until now is I only took this trade on 1 mini. Normally I take 2 mini is my leverage, and that was just a mistake. Normally I take this trade with 2 minis, so it would have been a 750 and then a break even. But for my guys, that's like, well, okay, you wanted this draw, but what about, does this trade play out to the Asia high? Because there's very bullish order flow. How does this trade end up playing out? Well, may you ask. Let's see how this trade plays out. Now on ES, as you guys can see, the trade by this time had fully swept out its Asian high or its pre-market high or whatever you want to say. And from there, we had an inversal, which caused the SMT. As you guys can see, let's see how this plays out. Let me switch over to NQ. We put in a gap, inverse, push down. This was technically an SMT play. So if I'm holding this with 2 minis, I'm breaking even any day. Now, for my guys who truly believe in the model and you're sitting on this protected low and you believe this is low of day, and you truly believe that, which this model will give you a low of day 40 to 50% of the time on a high A plus. So with the SMT, just like this play, this will give you a low of the day if you trade it the very, very correct way. Now, let's just see how this plays out. Obviously, I can't tell you that I would be in this trade because I would have hit broke even. And that's just fair to say. But as you guys can see, let's see how the rest of the trade runs out. Very, very choppy. Shitty day. I know a lot of people lost on this day. Gladly took an L. I meant a W today, sorry, on this Tuesday. But as you guys see, ended up sweeping out our draw in Asian. This was actually, we did get another resweep right back to break even. So our break even point. But this trade ended up being the low of the entire day, and for the rest of the day, we would continue to run higher. But that was a little bit of how I was able to make 3,500 trading the markets. Very, very calm day. Normally have a lot bigger days, but I'm gonna start posting all my trades, and I need to catch up from today's break-even trade that I took on Wednesday, because today's already Wednesday. So I'll have that out for you guys. Very, very solid trade. Very blessed, and I hope you guys learned something from this video today. But we out of here, man.